Hi, I'm Sarang Deo. I'm a faculty member in the operations group at ISB. I moved to ISB about 3 years ago. Before that, I was a faculty member at Kellogg School. The move was primarily driven by the desire to be closer to family and parents. But when I started looking at options in business academia in India, I think there was no match for ISB. I have a PhD in operations management. My area of expertise is healthcare operations. Before embarking on an academic career, I've been a consultant for a couple of years. So I teach 2 courses at ISB. One course is a core statistics class, which is taught in the first term. This is a fairly quantitative class, and I typically get very anxious students in the first term. There is a huge diversity into the classroom. Some students who have actually used these techniques in their work before, maybe not with complete understanding of what these techniques are, but nonetheless they've used them. And then there is a sizable chunk of students who have never dealt with data or quantitative techniques for many years. This is where I bring in actual examples from business to say large companies like Google, Netflix, Facebook use statistical techniques day in, day out to make complicated decisions. Because of the amount of data that is flowing in, there is a point where intuition just fails you. Of course, if you keep using these techniques over time, then you can develop a more nuanced intuition, and maybe you don't have to rely so much on the formal methods going forward. The healthcare operations class is actually very different from the core statistics class. One, because it focuses on a very niche area. It tends to attract students who already have a lot of background in healthcare and are very intent to re-enter the healthcare sector, or students who have experience in other allied areas but are keen to start their career in the healthcare sector. So the biggest challenge for me is to make students unlearn what they have experienced in the past. Not entirely unlearn, but just make them aware that a lot of decisions that they have been taking in the past were because of certain industry standard or industry norm, and it is critical for them to review these decisions using formal methods. And this is where the fact that I bring in my own research into the classroom helps immensely because it exposes them to new tools and techniques, and also gives them a context in which some of these tools and techniques that they might have learned in other core courses get applied. Been collaborating with my past collaborators at Kellogg and Northwestern University, developed new collaborative partnerships with people at LBS. Because now I'm in India, I get an opportunity to work on problems that arise from context in India, and I've been engaging with the Gates Foundation, the Clinton Health Access Initiative, to work on problems which are rooted in the Indian context. And I think this would not have been possible if I was at Kellogg. So I think the best thing about ISB students is, one, they bring in experience into the classroom. At the same time, they're still open to learn new things, to very actively engage and participate in the class. There is always a healthy pushback, but not too much, which again makes them open to learn rather than just being tied to their previous perspectives. So I find this very rewarding and exciting when I teach at ISB.